I disagree with Demetrious Johnson and his take on Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison. We're gonna go through his reaction to this fight being confirmed, Amanda Nunes being brought into the octagon. And I want to get this out of the way. Demetrious Johnson is like one of my favorite fighters. He's one of the fighters that got me back into the UFC. So no ill will, but me, a 21-year-old with a disability, knows more about MMA than a 15-time world champion who dominated his division in a way where nobody else will be able to do it. But let's start off. I really want to quickly shout out his new podcast with their boy MMA Guru, the Mighty Guru Show. I think they're gonna be reviewing every single pay per view card. Shout out to them though, goats of this area of YouTube, goats in the MMA community. But let's get into where I disagree with this man, and I did him no service with where I paused the video on it. I need to make sure that we have audio. Yes, we do. Now, as usual, I'm gonna be cutting in. I'm gonna tell you where I agree with him, but where I disagree as well.
To Kayla Harrison. Now here's the flip thing. Kayla Harrison is calling out Amanda Nunes. I think that's a very, very bad idea. Reason why is because, yes, Kayla Harrison is a world champion. But when you look at the roster of what Amanda Nunes fought and what Kayla Harrison fight, there is no fucking comparison. There's not one comparison at all. You had Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, you had Kat Zagano, you had JDR. I mean, you have Vasilij Shevchenko. I mean, just the talent pool that Amanda Nunes has fought in mixed martial arts blows everything that Kayla Harrison has done in her whole entire career in mixed martial arts. Just the talent pool.
100%. My man is spitting facts here. I don't even think, even with a win against Amanda Nunes, that Kayla Harrison could reach the resume of Amanda Nunes. Again, you have to factor in Amanda Nunes has already been retired. She's going into the Hall of Fame, all that stuff. But it still is an interesting. I mean, I'm doing him no service on my own pausing. I'm sorry, DJ. I'm sorry, DJ. But I lost my train of thought. Fuck. But okay, with this fight, with Amanda Nunes coming out, this is a fight that the fans have wanted to see. This is a fight that Kayla has wanted. This is a fight that Amanda Nunes has wanted. And does Amanda Nunes need to take this fight? No. But I believe this is an easy fight for her to further her legacy and make it damn near impossible for any female fighter to reach the level that she did. And we're gonna go through their records. I might even bring up the rankings after and go through the path that Kayla Harrison would have to go through in the UFC to even get close to Nunes. And even then, I doubt that happens with her age.
I believe. So, but when you look at that fight, you know, Amanda Nunes doesn't need to come out of retirement. I mean, I think the only thing that's enticing her to come out of retirement is probably because how easy the fight might be. They train together. Granted, Kayla Harrison does have advantage on the feet, but she's got to get Amanda Nunes down. Amanda Nunes is not a very small girl. She's very big. She's very strong for her size. So I think for Amanda Nunes, if she comes back, she is putting her legacy on the line. But at the end of the day, it's not something that I'm like jumping out of my seat to see. I'd rather see Amanda Nunes retire and then maybe Kayla Harrison fight one more time and then retire. That's what my gut.
I understand that. No, honestly, logically, it makes the most sense. But again, I'm a fan. Demetrious Johnson is a fighter. I want to see Amanda Nunes come back. And you know the whole saying that everybody knows, if you're thinking about retirement, do it. But I also think when it comes to the greatest fighters in this sport, John Jones, GSP, mighty Demetrious Johnson over here. These are guys that can take that time off. Guys and girls, these are the fighters that can take the time off, that have the discipline to continue to train even when they're out, out of the pool, retired, going into the Hall of Fame. The greatest martial artists train every day. They drill every day. They learn a brand new technique every grappling match, any sparring, assessing. Why did I say it that way? Whatever. But again, it's this win is basic. It's similar to John Jones, right? Where Amanda Nunes doesn't need this win, but a win over Kayla Harrison. That's it. No, nobody can achieve that. It'll be decades before anybody can reach the title defenses, the pay per view records, the finishes, all this stuff. And you also have the argument too of, well, how good is the UFC system? How far beyond the UFC roster is? I completely messed up that sentence, right? Like, what is the differences between the UFC roster and the PFL roster, the one roster? What is the skill gap? What do you need to do to be a top 5 UFC fighter compared to being a top 5 one fighter? Man, let's use, I don't know, welterweight, for example. Especially right now in the UFC, it being the most stacked division, you're gonna have to have an 8 fight, 9 fight win streak before you even get to the belt, most likely. But if you're able to get up to the top, if you're able to win the belt, you want the biggest fights. You want the biggest money. You want the most legacy. Amanda Nunes checks all those boxes. Well, let's listen to the last bit of Demetrious Johnson here.
Tell me that's what I would love to see. But boys, let us get to the motherfucking main event. Sugar Sean O'Malley taking.
Never mind, that was the last of it here. So, I want to go over to these three right here. Well, we'll start with Juliana Pena. I'm gonna be nice. I always try to be. I don't know how it goes though, but we know Juliana Pena. What sets her apart from everybody else in this division is she is not the best in anything in this division. I would argue she has some of the worst striking. Again, gotta go home. Like it's to me, it's like Dominic Cruz on acid. That's the best way I can explain Juliana Pena's striking. But yeah, the Kimura lost to Kayla Harrison. Again, Kayla Harrison is a fucking behemoth. I mean that in the nicest way possible. This woman is shredded. Now, I'm not gonna make the accusations, but it's pretty typical for dominance MMA. You got guys like Kamal Livingston over there. You got the Dagestani fighters. A lot of them come in fights looking like that. I don't know though. I have no proof of it, so we're gonna move on. You had the third fight with Amanda Nunes. I'm going to talk about it more. We move over to Nunes. You had the rear naked choke. But, like, you go through her career, right? Starts off 3-1, uh, three finishers to start. Gets TKO by Sarah Moss. Morris, Dr. Stoppage. Loses to a woman named Deanna Bennett. Has a couple goes on the Ultimate Fighter, sorry, beats Gina Marzani, beats Shayna Baszler, who went over to the WWE, uh, or submitted her by the naked choke, submitted Sarah Moss, TKO'd Jessica, uh, Ricard, Ricardi, I don't know how to say her name, in the Ultimate Fighter finale. Then, continues the win streak, TKO's Moana Dudiba beats Jessica I by unanimous decision. Katsungano by unanimous decision is submitted by Valentina Shevchenko. Beats Nico Montano to rebound. Gets submitted by Jermaine Durandamine. Submits Sarah McMahon. Gets the shot against Nunes, and we get all that. Now, it is beyond me, honestly, how she will go down as a two-time bantamweight champion. But again, whatever works is what works. Juliana Pena, we will have to see now whether she can stick around at the top of the division. I don't think she beats Amanda Nunes again. I don't think she beats Kayla Harrison. Um, Maybe they gave her Raquel Pennington. I got burp again. Caitlin Barra. I feel like she'll have to work her way into it. It doesn't help that she's fucking awful on the mic, too. But we move over to Kayla Harrison, right? And now we're getting into the main course of this video, right? What are we at on time? 12 minutes. Okay, I'm doing better than last time. So, we know what we get with Kayla Harrison. For the longest time, they've been talking about bringing Kayla back, or bringing Kayla into the UFC, I should say. She trains at American Top Team, which Amanda Nunes also does, and that forces Nunes to build her own camp, which I think will really benefit Amanda Nunes. And I'm going to get into that. So, yeah, the Juliana Pena submission. Really good debut. Um, Honestly had no adversity in that fight and was massive compared to Juliana Pena. Caitlin Vera, unanimous decision. She took her down. She controlled her for 15 minutes. Dominated the fight as usual. You had the second rounder naked choke in her debut against former champion Holly Holm. Holly Holm isn't the same as she used to be, obviously. She was supposed to go over to GFL, I think, but that shit's never gonna start up. But again, submitting Holly Holm in your debut, really a good way to start off your career. She beat Aspen Ladd back in 2023 in November by unanimous decision at the 2023 PFL World Championship. Um, PFL 10. I don't know how they went with their events. It's so fucking confusing what PFL calls their events. Then you have her only loss to Larissa Pacheco. Really good fight. She won 2 rounds in that fight. Was competitive. That what Larissa Pacheco put it on her. Did more damage. She submitted Martina Jindarova in the first round. That that's a win. I feel that way. Well, Caitlin Young, first round TKO. Uh, Unanimous decision over Marina Morgan. No, I'm not even trying to say that fucking name. Holy shit. Then you got a armbar over a female named, or a girl named Taylor. going. Okay. First round TKO, first round armbar, first round ground and pound, second round TKO, unanimous decision armbar against all these people. She beat Orisa Pacheco the first time back in 2019. Key lock submission, another win over Larissa Pacheco. She's 2-1. Ground and pound, round three, armbar. You get it. Dominant fighter, won her gold medal at judo. But the problem is, right? How good are these fighters? This one is 12-12-1 when they fought, right? 16-10, 3-1, 4-1, 6-2, 4-1. And then you get over to Amanda Nunes, who I really never thought that she would stay in retirement. I kind of thought that she will be one of the ones like Uriah Faber, like Jose Aldo, who gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and then returns as a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying she'll go on like a 4-fight, 5-fight run. I think she'll come back for maybe 2 or 3 max. But you had her retirement fight against Irene Aldana, where she won by unanimous decision. The Chihuahua went after her, saying, "Oh, she's ducking me. She's ducking me. She doesn't want the third fight." Third fight would have gone as the second fight would, and that's exactly how it will happen if it happens again. You had the mentioned second fight where she absolutely demolished Juliana Pena. The Amanda Nunes in the first fight was a shell of herself. She looked tired, she looked slow, she looked hesitant, and she kind of just gave up the choke instantly. Pena didn't really have to work. And then you had Megan Anderson by his first round inverted triangle, Alicia Spencer, Jermaine Durandamine, Holly Holm, knocking out Chris Cyborg, who is the second most accomplished female fighter to ever do it. Wanderlei Silva in a dress, as Dana White puts it. Um, TKO Raquel Pennington beat Valentina Shevchenko in the second fight. TKO Ronda Rousey submitted Miesha Tate for the belt. Uh, beat Valentina Shevchenko by unanimous decision at 196. Submitted Sarah McMahon. TKO Shayna Baszler. Who didn't she go over to WWE? Right? Yeah, she. I'm not as big into the WWE as I was as a kid. I think she went over there and tag team with like Ronda Rousey. Again, I have no clue though. Kat Zingano, third round TKO. This is her last loss before the Pena fight, and I kind of think that Zingano fight unleashed the monster we know as Amanda Nunes. Jermaine Durandamine, first round TKO by elbows. Sheila Gaff, first round TKO. You had the loss to Sarah Diallo early on in her career in Invicta, way back in 2013. Beat Raquel Canado, lost to Alexis Davis in Strike Force. Uh, TKO Julia Budd. And then you have a lot of fights at Samurai Fight, Vitelli, Demo, all this stuff. So I agree with Demetrious Johnson. I don't want to see Amanda Nunes chasing the dragon, going after contender. She has a star. She's a Hall of Famer. She's a legend. She should only be coming back for big fights, legendary fights. And then Kayla Harrison is the one that she has wanted this entire time. Kayla Harrison is the fight that or Amanda Nunes is the fight that Kayla Harrison has wanted for years now. And I think it's easy money. I get what Demetrious Johnson is saying. Don't waste your legacy. But I'm not a fighter. I'm not one of the greatest to do it. I'm a hardcore fan. I want to see this fight. I'm excited for it. I think Amanda Nunes coming back can light a fire under a lot of these female fighters, and we can see the best come out of them. Because honestly, women's events on these past few cards have kind of carried. You had Wang Kong this Saturday. Obviously, Macy Barber and Blanchfield. That we're not even gonna talk about that one. But on a lot of these cards, I'm getting more and more impressed by the female fighters. Is that because my bar is set way lower for female fighters than male fighters? Yes, but still, this is a fight we want to see. I want to see Amanda Nunes return, and I think it's easy money for her. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Amanda Nunes returning? What do you think about what Demetrious Johnson is saying? Do you agree with him, or do you agree with me, where I want to see Amanda Nunes back, man? We need some entertainment. We need some star power, and Amanda Nunes is exactly that. And like bringing interest to women's MMA will be big right now because you got fighters, um, in these divisions. You got your Norma Dumont, you got your Raquel Penningtons that were just robbed. And I think the best ones are on the come up. But let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. Later.